Yo, welcome to another episode of A Chapter a Day to Keep the Devil Away. I am Tinaya Shea, and this is the place where we read a chapter of the Bible every day until we finish the entire thing. Sorry if you saw that my post for yesterday's reading didn't land until this afternoon. I don't have super solid Wi-Fi where I'm at, and I have no cell service. So we are gonna get these out when they post, and that's just gonna have to be what it is. Today we're reading Genesis chapter 39. Looking fine. If you haven't read Genesis chapter 38, go do that. All right, let's get into it. Joseph in Potiphar's house. When Joseph was taken to Egypt by the Ishmaelite traders, he was purchased by Potiphar, an Egyptian officer. Potiphar was captain of the guard for Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. The Lord was with Joseph, so he succeeded in everything he did as he served in the home of his Egyptian master. Potiphar noticed this and realized that the Lord was with Joseph, giving him success in everything he did. This pleased Potiphar, so he soon made Joseph his personal attendant. He put him in charge of his entire household and everything he owned. From the day Joseph was put in charge of his master's household and property, the Lord began to bless Potiphar's household for Joseph's sake. All his household affairs ran smoothly, and his crops and livestock flourished. So Potiphar gave Joseph complete administrative responsibility over everything he owned. With Joseph there, he didn't worry about a thing, except what kind of food to eat. Joseph was a very handsome and well-built young man, and Potiphar's wife soon began to look at him lustfully. "Come and sleep with me," she demanded. But Joseph refused. "Look," he told her, "my master trusts me with everything in his entire household. No one here has more authority than I do. He has held back nothing from me except you, because you are his wife. How could I do such a wicked thing? It would be a great sin against God." She kept putting pressure on Joseph day after day, but he refused to sleep with her, and he kept out of her way as much as possible. One day, however, no one else was around when he went in to do his work. She came and grabbed him by his cloak, demanding, "Come on, sleep with me." Joseph tore himself away, but he left his cloak in her hand as he ran from the house. Not right.
I said, "Oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire." Then I ran out. I didn't grab no shoes or nothing, Jesus. I ran for my life. And then the smoke got me.
When she saw that she was holding his cloak and he had fled, she called out to her servants. Soon all the men came running. "Look," she said, "my husband has brought this Hebrew slave here to make fools of us. He came into my room to rape me, but I screamed. When he heard me scream, he ran outside and got away, but he left his cloak behind with me." She kept the cloak with her until her husband came home. Then she told him her story. "That Hebrew slave you've brought into our house tried to come in and fool around with me," she said. "But when I screamed, he ran outside, leaving his cloak with me." Joseph put in prison. Potiphar was furious when he heard his wife's story about how Joseph had treated her. So he took Joseph and threw him into the prison where the king's prisoners were held. And there he remained. But the Lord was with Joseph in the prison and showed him his faithful love. And the Lord made Joseph a favorite with the prison warden. Before long, the warden put Joseph in charge of all the other prisoners and over everything that happened in the prison. The warden had no more worries because Joseph took care of everything. The Lord was with him and caused everything he did to succeed. Joseph is kind of just, I don't know. Joseph's kind of going through it. I think the takeaway is something that hopefully gives us hope in this moment. Joseph is going through things that he wasn't in control of. I've heard people say that, him being alone with the wife was, lack of discernment, or him continuing to work and not ever say anything about her advances was a lack of discernment. I don't know. I mean, he's a slave. Probably not the best move to accuse your master's wife of making advances on you.
Pull up on me! Pull up on me.
He was kind of in a lose-lose situation, and he did the best that he could. I think you see him always, walking in the direction of righteousness, which is something that we can learn from. We can't control what's happening to us, but we can control how we move through the situation, how we move through each and every circumstance. And so, as much as we can, try to move in the direction of righteousness. But the other thing is, God, through all of those things, through the circumstance, through our ability to be righteous or unrighteous, is with us and ready to show us faithful love. So I hope that is an encouragement to you today. I gotta go, but I love you. Peace.